Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea and Banter with me. It's me, Mary Elizabeth, and it is that wonderful time for BB&B. So alongside me is Felicia. And if you don't remember, if you're new here, our buddy book was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So we are here to review it, give our thoughts on it, and then the exciting what book will be next for October. So let's get started. The first thing I want to say is I read Frankenstein a very long time ago. I have not reread it, and the first thing I'm going to say is I don't know why I haven't reread it. I should have. But before we continue on, let me find my notes because I do have some notes. All right, so the other thing I want to say is that I'm sure you all know or remember, I did not, I read this a long time ago, but I did not remember how young Mary Shelley was. She was only 18 when she wrote this, and she wrote this book in 3 days as a bet, with a bet against Byron and someone else, and forgive me, I can't remember the name of that person, but it goes to show it's a time where females, might not have been valued, I guess is the word. But boy, she came out on top, I think, with this in 3 days. Like, that to me is amazing on its own. Yeah, I mean, even if you're not the biggest fan of Frankenstein, to write something like this in 3 days is amazing in my eyes. But so I have quite a lot to say. So
I can see that.
So what do you have? What would you like to say?
I haven't read this in a really, really long time. So just getting it was amazing, and rereading it, 5 stars still holds up.
Okay.
I loved it. It was so beautifully written, and it's so dark. And I kind of feel bad for Frankenstein. But yeah. And then my favorite quote is, "If I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear."
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, to me, this book represents, and I did take notes because, you can never remember everything that's going through your mind as you're reading. But one of the things that came to my mind, and I'm sorry if I look down, but it's the only way I remember, is this book really gives questions about life, death, and curiosity of life and death. And it is that emotional turmoil of how we deal with it too.
And the playing God aspect. Because he kind of did, the doctor.
Yeah, Victor Frankenstein did. Yeah, I mean, I related to Victor in the sense of his curiosity and his thirst to know things.
Yes.
I'm always someone who questions. I love to question things, and I know that drives some people crazy. I know it drives my grandson out of his mind, because we will talk about something and I'll have another question, and he's like looking at me like, it's just this, like,
this is it.
But, that's the way my mind works. So in that aspect, I understood Victor, but he kind of fell down a rabbit hole. He fell victim to his thirst, I think. To things better left undiscovered. And I guess, that to me, this book holds true today, I think, because of that. I mean, there's so many things today that we question that rabbit hole and thirst to continue and uncover. The whole thing going on with robotics and AI and things like that, and where people stand on that discovery. Some people want to push forward, some people want to pull back. So to me, that's why, one of the reasons why Frankenstein holds up today. It's that same,
it makes you question things.
Yeah, it's that same discovery, and the person that is going to plow ahead while other people are trying to hold back. That was one thing. And it shows how desperate someone can be to their own destruction. You know, there was a lot of deaths, and with that thirst for knowledge, it just became his destruction. And sometimes it can be too late.
Like his thirst to succeed with us.
Yeah, I mean, his death of his mother, deaths of others, and we all understand, I think, that sense of grief and loss, and you know, you wish you had the answers to keep that person because you want to keep that person, and you know, so he just continued on.
Yeah.
The other thing, well, let's talk about the monster. What are your thoughts on the monster?
I feel bad for him. I do. Because he doesn't understand why he's the way he is. I mean, and Igor is mean.
Igor is mean.
Igor is mean. And he's, like, teases him because he doesn't understand. He's doesn't have that mentality, like, why he's so feared and why he was created, or it was just, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, and I think that, to me, Victor was, or is, his father. He's the monster's father in a sense, and Victor
like a
Victor became afraid of what he created, and therefore was not there for the monster, and
had no one to teach him.
Well, the monster retaliated. The monster said, "Okay, if this is the way, then I'm going to do it
this way."
And it's sort of like parenting today. You know, you let a 3-year-old have it.
Yeah,
there's going to be problems. You know, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. He was basically a child.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so, you know, the Frankenstein's monster decided revenge. You know, and I wrote here in quotes, Frankenstein's main sin is not his act of creation, but his failure to take responsibility for what he produces. And, you know, again, that to me is also a parenting response. What you create, you have to take responsibility for. And Victor failed in that. And so as a result, the monster
just didn't
have a chance, and then developed his own moral compass and judgment, and his own justice, I guess. And this other quote I really love, Mary Shelley is quoted as saying, "No man chooses evil because it is evil. He only mistakes it for happiness, for the good he seeks."
That is a good one.
You know, and I don't think Victor's intention was to create a monster.
No.
I think he was ill, and I think that he wanted to
unfortunately, I think
make death extinct, or, you know, could he bring back, if he could bring back a monster, who else could he bring back?
Exactly, I was just going to say, if this was a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Could probably bring back more.
Yeah, right. And so, but because he created this monster in the way he looked and the way he didn't have already skills or whatnot, Victor became fair, and fear led to disaster. And I actually had the same quote, I think, that you had from the monster: "Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful."
It's on the idea.
Yeah. And so that is the contradiction between father and son here, because Victor was all fear and the monster is fearless, and therefore he became powerful, and Victor lost all the power. You know, absolutely. And so I think this is an amazing story. And, you know, to me, it became what do you call it? A contrast between the fiction novel and real life, and kind of family dynamics, and how you deal with death, and how you raise children, and how you know, deal with your own insecurities and your own, what is it? I forget the word, but your own desire for knowledge and learning more and more. And I am a victim of that. I am a victim of wanting to know more, wanting to know more. Luckily, I am not as brilliant or genius as Victor Frankenstein was, nor would I want to go down that road. But so there's never any fear of that. But yeah, I just think this was an emotional roller coaster because I related to so much of real life and
With
Frankenstein.
yeah.
And so this is a powerful read. And I think if people don't like it, that certainly you're right. But I think oftentimes people that don't like it is because it's kind of, they're seeing it as maybe, unreal.
Yeah.
It's just a fiction of creating a monster or whatnot. But if you really read and take the time to digest what you're reading, it's a story that holds up, and it's a story about, family, grief, intelligence, fear, power. All of those things are in this book.
Wanting to be accepted.
Yeah.
He wanted Dr. Frankenstein to accept him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, that's, again, where he failed.
Yeah, and our fear as a community, our fear of, the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And is it right to have that fear? Is it, in some extent, no, and in some extent, yes, but how do you deal with that? How do you change what's happening? So I can't talk enough about Frankenstein. And I will be honest, I did not have Frankenstein as one of my all-time favorite books. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a must-have, absolutely. I remember that. Dorian Gray is one of my all-time favorite classics.
That is a good one.
And that is another whole kind of real-life perspective for another time. But Frankenstein is now
up there?
Right up there with Dorian Gray. Yeah, this has a wealth of knowledge and understanding, and yeah, I love it. It's 5 stars.
Yeah, definitely 5 stars.
5 stars. And I encourage people to go back and give it another try. If you don't like it, try going back in with this perspective of real life and feelings, and pulling out from it what makes sense to you. And I think that you will enjoy it in that aspect. But again, I can certainly understand people might not like that kind of fantasy book. So yeah, that's all I had. And again, back to Mary Shelley. Kudos to her.
I know, right?
Kudos to her.
18.
And 18, and she packed a wallop in a fiction story about a monster. It's amazing.
Like 3 days.
In 3 days. She sure showed those boys, didn't she?
She did.
Proud here, proud. So yeah, so what do you any other comments you have? Or I know you didn't take as many notes.
No, I should have. That was my fault. And I should have probably done tabs, but you know what? They make me nervous.
I know.
I don't want to ruin pages.
I actually have to learn more annotating.
No, I think I have a plan. Maybe get like a different copy with a different cover.
Oh, and then annotate one.
That one.
That's a good idea.
Have 2 copies of a book.
That's a.
I'll need
brilliant.
another Harry Potter series.
That's brilliant.
Because I'm not gonna ruin my new ones, the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you people feel? Leave it in the comments.
Because I feel like it would rip, right?
What do you think about annotating your books? I am blah 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 years old.
What was that?
Not really gonna tell you. I'm old.
You're not old.
But I was always a firm believer. Don't dog ear your books. Don't.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Write in your books. Don't highlight them. Don't anything to them. Keep them pristine. But on the other hand, I look and see people, and I see well-loved books that keep getting reread, that people are writing on them, annotating them, going back. So on a couple of my books, I have used tabs.
Yeah, you can do it to the Bible, which
but
I didn't think you could do that. And I've seen videos where they do.
They write in the Bible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And highlight. They put notes.
Yeah, I don't
I was told
know.
growing up, when I was in Catholic school, you don't do that.
Right.
They do it. So I'm assuming it's a thing, even for that.
Yeah, I can't answer to that. But right now, I'm just... Let me know you guys' thoughts.
Sorry.
You know, I like your idea of a second book, but on the other hand, then which book are you going to always reach for? You're going to reach for the one with the tabs.
I technically have 3 of these.
Yeah, but you're not answering my question. So if you tab and write in one, that's the one you're always going to go back to then, right? Because that's the one that has...
No, because if you're rereading with this one, you have the one with your notes beside you.
But what's the sense in that then? Wouldn't you just take that copy with the annotated and that's the one you would read because that's the one that has your notes in it?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Why?
Because I can look back to the other one. Why would I ruin a perfectly good book when I can use an older one?
Because that's the one that has all your notes and your stuff in it. So when you pick it up, isn't that the one you want to revisit?
Well, that's what you want to do. You do that.
No. Okay,
but
the banter begins again, people.
That.
Okay, but I'm just trying
like
to understand.
Cover.
No,
Why
I understand that you like that cover.
Okay, so why would I ruin it?
But okay, but so you see it as ruining the book
for this book, yeah.
But
hi, Freya.
But wouldn't you? Here we go. But to me, if you're writing in a book or highlighting it or putting tabs in it, there's a reason, right?
Well, yeah. If it's
what's the reason why you would do that?
To an older book? Because it's old.
No, forget the old. Why would you tab a book, highlight it, or annotate in it? You don't even...
Because, wait, you caught me off guard. Sorry. Listen. So I don't forget what I've seen.
Okay, right. Or favorite quotes.
Yeah.
Or things like that. Yeah. Right. So wouldn't that be the book you would go to? Because that has everything that you love in it. Tabbed, highlighted. So wouldn't that be the book that you pick up and read and you got your highlighted and annotated right there?
Yeah, it can be beside me if I need to go through it.
I feel like it's around in circles, around in circles.
How is it round in circles? I explained it.
No, I understand you don't want to ruin a book.
Okay.
In your eyes, it's ruined. Other people don't see it that way.
No, I'm not saying other people do. I'm just saying me.
Let me finish.
All right.
So the book that you have this book.
Yeah.
You annotate another book.
Yeah. With the same
So a year down the line, you go to reread Frankenstein. Don't you want the book that you annotated to read because it has all your previous notes and your highlights and your thoughts so that you can see, does it still hold true? Or you want to be able to see that right away, or depending on why you highlighted or something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I do. That's why I'm going to say this again. I'm going to try it again. I'll have both copies with me.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why would you have both copies with you?
Because that's what it's for. One is to write in and notate things. The other is perfectly pristine.
Okay. All right. I need help.
Oh my God. I don't understand
what are people's thoughts. What are people's thoughts? Now, I will tell you, I have not highlighted. Nope, wrong word. I have tabbed in a couple of books. And I have...
Oh, no. Can you imagine trying to get those out? You're going to rip the book.
No, I've done it. Because I put it in wrong, or the wrong place, and I fixed it.
Yeah, but then
it doesn't. But here's my thing. I have tabbed them trying to be brave, right? But I haven't...
You freaking me out?
No. So, like, for example, I have used different colors in a book, different color tabs.
Yeah.
But I didn't write down why I did a certain color, one, anywhere.
Okay.
Two, I haven't written in the book. So, naturally, for me, I can probably figure out exactly why I tabbed once I turn to the book, once I turn the page to the tab, I know why I tabbed it, because I tried to get it closest to what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
But if I was to say, I want to find this quote, beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. I couldn't tell you what tab that is. Do you know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you what color I did it in. No. Oh my God.
That's what this book is for.
People.
See, it has quotes on the front.
You're not listening to me.
I love you.
Imagine.
Okay.
I have tabbed this book.
Yeah.
I have a blue tab on this page.
Okay.
A red one here.
Yeah.
And an orange one here. I close the book. I put it away. A year later, I pick it up. Why do I have an orange tab?
You didn't tell me.
I know that, and I didn't write down why there's an orange tab in there. I don't know. So I have to go to that orange tab to figure out why. I believe some people have like a master list of the color. So like any purple is all quotes, or any orange is, I don't know, I'm going to make it up, tear jerking, parts of it, or whatever the case may be. So I haven't done anything like that. I just put tabs in them. Okay. But I don't know what those tabs represent. Do you see what I'm saying now? So that's one of my issues with tabbing it.
Yeah.
So now I don't know what the tab means. So I would have to go through, if I was looking for something, I would have to go through every tab to find it, rather than if it was a quote, I know all orange tabs are a quote. So if I pick up Frankenstein, I know orange tab, because I want to find that quote. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
That's what I was trying to get across.
Okay.
All right, that's issue number one.
So why wouldn't you just write the quote on the tab?
The tabs are small.
Oh, they're small?
Yeah, they're small. I did small. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because this is.
I've seen them. They're pretty big.
This is what happens with everything in my life with this girl. Any conversation.
Not everything.
It goes how is
this crazy? I answered you. You just weren't understanding.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm putting my back to you. Let's see.
What are you doing?
Give me a second.
All right.
Where's my...
I kind of want to show my mug, but I'm not left-handed. I'm not left-handed, so I got to do it this way. It's Jack coming out of the pumpkin.
Okay.
I love this movie.
I just did it lightly.
I want to get the Sally one. And it'll be complete.
Complete. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay, so for example, one of my favorite books is by Gianna Darling. Actually, this isn't my favorite. I take that back. But I love her series, The Fallen Men. And so this is the first book, Lessons in Corruption. Okay, so in this one, I have 3 tabs.
Okay.
Apparently, I used 2 blue and a green.
Okay.
I don't know why. So in order for me to figure out why, I have to flip through it and find out. And I know, because see how I put it right on there? So it's a quote. The mind is in its own place, and it itself can make heaven of hell or hell of heaven.
So the blue's the quote.
So, well, I don't know. Yes, but I think the green is too. Yep, see? So
mistakes were made.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So should I be using, I'm not familiar with annotating. So if I'm going to annotate, I want to do it right. In my other book by Penelope Douglas, Birthday Girl, I only have 1 tab. Is this a quote? This is not a quote, and it's in blue. It's in green. Why did I tab it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I tabbed that. See, there's a reason, but I can't find it off the top of my head. I think I put it in the wrong place. Oh, no, that's not it. I got it. Okay, so here's a for instance. I found something I wanted to do.
What'd you want to do?
So in this book, she has, the heroine, has a jar, okay, that she keeps by her bedside table. And in the jar, it's labeled dreams.
Oh.
And at the time, that hero decided to go through it. And it's all little scrolls of paper. And it's things that she wants to do. She wanted to ride in a hot air balloon. She wanted to invent her own Christmas tradition. And that, so different things in the jar. And I loved that idea. So now, but that's a green tab.
Okay.
But
I know, I can see that.
so I forgot about this. And I wanted to do that. So all the greens is that activities I would like to do, and that way there I could always go back and through my books and find all the greens and kind of start marking down what the activities are.
You could.
And blue is, but do you see what I'm saying? I didn't do that because I didn't know. I mean, how are we going to annotate? That's my question. And how are we going to make it valuable? And is it more valuable to then read it when it's tabbed up and written on? Or is it just to sit on the shelf for when you want to refer back to an activity or a quote, and therefore you're not going to touch it and you're just going to read your book that's not touched?
I don't know.
I made your head hurt, didn't I?
Your face.
I think I made my head hurt too. For all of you professional annotators out there, help.
Yeah.
Because are we ruining the books if we do that? Like I said, I do love seeing a well-loved used book. But I don't want my book falling apart.
Yeah. And if you're writing it.
Is that well-loved? Or is destroying? Right.
I don't know.
Okay, so I went off on a whole nother tangent on this because of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot I would have tabbed.
Yeah.
But what would I be tabbing it for? How would I use it? I guess is my question. There's a lot of places I would love to tab, but how am I using those tabs? What is the purpose of that? How do I make it more effective? I don't want to tab just to tab because I read it once and I loved it. I want to use it.
No, I agree.
I want it to be part of my reading life. So that's where I'm stuck. That, and am I ruining my book if I do that? I need a consensus. Please let me know. We went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. But as we're doing our book club, I think it's a fun learning process.
It is.
And we can always grow and learn. I've always been one that you don't touch your books. You read it and you don't touch it. And I have a lot of books that I do love, and I'm very careful with them. But at the same time, should I be careful with them? Because I love them and I want to pick them up and I want to keep opening them up. And how does that work? You know?
Yeah, we need to know.
So I'm looking to you guys for your expertise to help. So without further ado, Frankenstein 5 stars, my little bookmark. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
1,000,000,000%.
Question, is this a 3 book?
I believe it is.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's not a 3 book.
Is it not, or is it?
Where did I write it down?
That is the question.
Okay, so Magpie Murders for me. All right, so then we did Murder at Malawan Hall.
Mm-hmm.
The Family Upstairs.
Yep.
And Frankenstein. So yes, so you got to pick your best book out of the 3.
Really?
Yep. And so I know mine.
It's not fair. It's like picking a kid.
What's today's date?
The 23rd?
9/23. So now I have to pick between the two books, right?
No, it's between the three.
No, I picked my book between the three. But my
Oh.
first one, so Magpie Murders won out for me. And now I picked my favorite out of the last three. So now I believe I have to pick out, right?
Mm-hmm. So which one?
So for me, what is it for you? You have to pick, you have to decide between your three first. I don't know what your last pick was for the other three. Which one was your top?
I think it was, I forget.
So for me, it would be September. So October, November, December. Yeah, we need to pick one book because then we read our last three books, and then we pick that one, and then it's between the two for the year. So for me, right now, I have to pick between Magpie Murders and Frankenstein.
I have to pick between The Family Upstairs and Frankenstein.
Oh my goodness. What did I
my
I
God,
rate? I think I rated Magpie Murders 5 stars.
You did. I don't know why, but you did.
Because it was really, really good. You just didn't understand it.
No. I did.
No,
The
you didn't.
detective was amazing.
You thought it was about the real author being dead.
Yeah, I didn't care about that.
You
No,
didn't?
I shouldn't say that. I would care, but not in
But
the
that's
book.
what you thought the book was about. So
No,
that's why
I thought. Listen,
Hush
I
up,
wanted
child.
more of the detective. I thought it was actually going to be a series, and it was false. I liked the detective a lot. Such a bummer.
I guess.
Oh, this is hard.
And there can't be a tie. I know.
Oh, they can't.
No. You have to pick
all right. Glad you settled that.
I am going to go with. Ooh. What did I say in Magpie Murders? Let me look at what I wrote. Just so I can be sure. Don't laugh at me.
Not saying a word. I'm going to drink my tea.
Amazing concept. A book within a book. Section of the book breaking down suspects. Yeah, it's hard because Frankenstein is a classic. Magpie Murders is... Yes, I write a lot about
No,
my books.
I'm just reading what you said about the book.
You have to reread it because you didn't understand it. It was clear.
Amazing concept.
Yes. It was. You didn't understand what you were reading.
Thought I was reading about an actual detective.
The author captures my feelings
Pond was
of being
amazing.
right.
The detective was brilliant. I love Sims. But it didn't go that way. You drew on me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't be trusted with objects.
All right. I
Really?
do I go with the classic or do I go with the modern?
See, that's what
Magpie
I'm saying in my head
Murders?
too. Oh, this is really tough. I love Frankenstein, but The Family Upstairs was so good too. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with Magpie Murders.
You're picking Magpie Murders over Frankenstein.
Yes. And the reason why I'm picking it is I loved. First of all, to me, it was difficult because they're two different genres. too.
Yeah.
Like
This is more
classic horror
Yeah.
or mystery.
Yeah.
And I am a more mystery person to horror or,
Yeah.
science fiction or anything like that. So that's one. The second thing, I really liked the process of a book within a book in a book. I thought that was genius and very creative, and I got to give kudos to that. So, and I love a good murder mystery. I like
love a
murder
murder
mysteries.
mystery, yeah.
So I'm going to go with Magpie Murders as my top so far for the year.
This is a lot of pressure.
And so you have which two?
Frankenstein or The Family Upstairs.
Yeah, and so you have the same dilemma because that's a murder mystery. And what did you write about that?
I rated it 5 stars. I love that book. But I love Frankenstein too, and I rated that 5 stars.
We're not good at rating books, are we? Because we got a lot of or I just picked really good books. That's what I'm gonna go with.
You did. This is the problem.
Yeah, for me, I wrote about The Family Upstairs. I was hesitant about reading it because I thought it was going to be a scary book. Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought, and it wasn't. It wasn't a scary book. So
No.
I was able to read it.
No, it wasn't like Stephen King.
No, but that's what I thought when I first
I love
read it.
Stephen King,
So I was glad to hear about that. But I don't know. It's up to you what you pick. But you need to do it quickly.
I know. I'm sorry.
I know. So we can get to what the next book is.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with The Family Upstairs.
The Family Upstairs. Okay, so you need to write that down.
Yeah.
What was the last book that you picked out of? Because I had Magpie Murders and Frankenstein, and yours was Frankenstein and the Family Upstairs. Okay.
And then I gotta figure out where I put mine because there it is. Got it.
So and then you get to open your next book. And I'm thinking for this coming Christmas, what I might do is, what are your thoughts? Would you rather us read the same book or would you rather do separate books? And that way people are getting exposure to 2 books with 2 different reviews, or
We can do that.
what do you think?
I'm game for anything that involves books. No complaints.
Tell me your thoughts. Would you rather us read the same book in the upcoming year to give our thoughts, or would you rather we read individual books and you're getting 2 reviews so that you have more book exposure, I guess is the word. Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to take your suggestions. Okay, so you need to open your next book. What are the clues?
Hold on.
And I know what the next book is because I did plan this a little right, I think.
Alrighty. Hold on.
So far,
away from where I
for
need to be.
Felicia, the leading book for this year is The Family Upstairs.
Mhm.
For me, it's Magpie Murders. Okay. And what are the clues?
Screams, dark and lovely. Life comes at a price and bolts.
Ooh, okay. Open her up. Can anyone guess what it is?
Is it a retelling? The dark descendant of Elizabeth Frankenstein.
Okay, show the camera.
Oh,
Okay, so that is our next book, The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. Do you want to read a little of the synopsis? Just like maybe read to here?
okay. Elizabeth Lavenza hasn't had a proper meal in weeks. Her thin arms are covered with bruises from her caregiver, and she is on the verge of being thrown into the streets until she is brought to the home of Victor Frankenstein, an unsmiling, solitary boy who has everything except a friend.
Okay.
Ooh.
That sounds good, right?
This does sound good. I had a feeling it was a retelling. Oh, I love it.
Well, it sounds like it's more of when Victor was a child, right?
Yeah.
So that's I thought was a little interesting and a little different. I don't know. But if you would like to join us, the name of the book is The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. The author is Kirsten White. So yeah.
Oh, I'm really
So
excited.
we have our October book, and it is a good Halloween-y book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it will have monsters in it. I don't know. I haven't read it, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you stick around. If you're returning, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. And until next time, I hope that you are all safe, and I hope you're all loved. Bye.